This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in the ice cream whip, triple school. I got 3 strikes.
Coach, the city of Philadelphia is one of rich history and passion, and you can always count on the ladder when you step inside Lincoln Financial Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Philadelphia Eagles. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
On 2nd down, it's Moss, and he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. He'll look to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. James Washington, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point put through by Boswell, and it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3.
They'll run with the NC State man. It's Jalen Samuels. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Boswell's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not.
All day, dog. 46 down, man, 5-4.
From the 45 on 2nd down. Wentz. Man open. It's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 29-yard line. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Here we go. 280! Come on, the ball.
From the gun, it's Wentz. He'll have a 1st down inside the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
It's caught. Mitchell. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They go back to the ground with Sanders. As Sanders has it poked free.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Wentz now on 3rd and goal. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Devin Bush able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that will bring up 4th down. So on comes the Eagle kicker, Jake Elliott, on 4th down. This is a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. The kick by Elliott is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. He'll look to throw. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Jannard Avery in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And he'll go out of bounds after getting this across the 15. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Here's Jackson. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
It.
Super toe.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. On 1st down, Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. Into the red zone. Wentz looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Man, 5 them. Here we go. Bravo. Watch 98.
Wentz will try again on 2nd down. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll run on 1st down. Moss. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10. The 20-yard line. 2nd and 10. 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 2nd and
Check three, check three, check three. Go, go. Motion.
Second and 10. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Go, go. 180. Watch twist. Watch twist.
A quick throw. It's Arcega-Whiteside. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Here, shift. Hey, kill. Hey, zoom. Mike, one. Here we go.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wentz got a man open. It's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz. His first touchdown here of the new campaign, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Elliott good with a PAT, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Not wanting to risk another sack. They'll play it safe with a run. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the 1st down. So we have reached halftime here at a good one. 10-10 is our score. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage?
Now what they have dialed up.
Great 15, great 15. 82.
On 2nd and 15 now. Wentz Catch is made by Arcega-Whiteside. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Carry over from the first half. That defensive line continues to control the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're actually playing the game in the offense's backfield. They're taking those offensive linemen and pushing them back towards the quarterback and towards the runners. I still don't think, though, that you abandon the running game totally, because if you do, you're asking for a lot more hits on your QB.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now Wentz. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. T.J. Watt. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Here's Wentz to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles have taken the lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jannard Avery picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They'll look to throw here. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll set up a throw. He's got this complete to Ryan Switzer. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. Back to throw here. Throw right side, going to be complete to Moss. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And that'll be incomplete. Johnson, the intended target. 3rd down here. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
And the Steelers on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Now back to throw. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Fletcher Cox, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, ringing the cowbell there on the sack. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a carry for Sanders. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. This is caught by Jackson. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Wentz now to throw. It's caught by Jackson. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
I think if you hold defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll look to throw. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll drop to throw. Ebron caught left side. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. This quarterback now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Read it well, and it's picked. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Carson Wentz with touchdown pass number 4 on the afternoon. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. This carry brought to an end at the 8. Good stick skills, but not much room to operate. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7 at that 8-yard line.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
I know you felt that one.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win.
Who's that? 2 Jet. Hey, high 7.
On 2nd and 7, Wentz to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Hey, Haywood. 198. Watch 98.
From the gun, it's Wentz. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people
under pressure. They got him again. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
Let's get it. My God. Black 30. I got him.
A first throw now for the backup Roethlisberger. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point.
Come on now. Let's go.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Here we go. 180. Okay, double up.
And they take a knee.
Wentz on the keeper.
So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for the Eagles, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they'll fall to 1-1.